Oscar weekend is finally upon us, so it's time to rank the top 10 Best Picture nominated films. Coming in at number 10 is A Complete Unknown. This is probably the most mediocre movie that I've seen all year last year. It's not a bad movie, it's a solid movie with some really good performances from Timothée Chalamet and Edward Norton, and there are some really cool sequences in the film. But overall, it's just another biopic that doesn't really do anything to elevate the genre. A better film in this category could have been A Better Man if you wanted to go in that same direction. Number 9 is The Brutalist. I think this movie, the best word to describe it is epic. It's grand in scale, with scope, with the score, the visuals, the cinematography, the themes of artist trying to die for his work, the tale of an immigrant, and some really solid performances and really great performances from Felicity Jones and Adrian Brody and Guy Pearce. The only reason this movie is so low on this list is because I have no desire to ever watch this film again. It's a good movie, but it's not something I would want to revisit. Coming in at number 8 is Dune Part 2. I do think this is a huge improvement over the first Dune. It's a much better paced film. The visuals are stunning. There's some really cool action sequences. Timothée Chalamet is finally in this role, and he's kind of engaging to watch as Zendaya's doing more than just staring out into the distance. The overall vibe of this film is a lot better, and it's a solid addition. I just still don't understand the Doom hype. Number 7 is a controversial one. It's Emilia Perez. I think this movie is so good in its mess. It has such an interesting and out there premise. I think the performances from the whole cast is phenomenal, especially Zoe Saldana. I do think Selena Gomez and Carla Sofia Gascon are really good as well. I like some of the music. I don't think they're the most creative musical numbers, but some of the choreography are really good, especially in like El Mal and the opening numbers in this film. Controversy aside, if you watch this film in the context of the film, it's just this really exaggerated telenovela, and I do enjoy it. Number 6 is Conclave. This is probably the most quiet Best Picture nominee, even though when it first came out, it was out of the gates the clear frontrunner. I think the cast is phenomenal in this film. Ralph Fiennes gives a stellar performance. So does the rest of the cast. I do think it's incredibly well written. The production designs are top notch. The costume designs, especially of the priests, are really elegant and very gothic and grandiose in its scale and execution overall. The score is really good. I do not if I love the ending, but it does give a good message at the end. Defying Gravity, coming at number 5, is Wicked. This movie blew all expectations out of the water. I didn't know what to expect when this movie was first announced. I heard a lot of things about the stage play, and I was really looking forward to watching it, and I still do plan on watching it one day. But this gave me my Wicked fix that I needed. The music is great. The performances are stellar, especially by Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. They really steal the scenes, and I'm really excited to see what they do with Wicked Forever. And this was a really good and fun movie. Number 4 is Nickel Boys. I did not know much about this movie. I didn't even know that there was this thing called the Nickel Academy, where it was basically institutionalizing children of color and kind of putting them into the prison system at a very young age. Such an important film that needed to be told, and I do love the perspective that this film gives, especially the first person angle. It kind of puts you into the ins and outs of what was actually happening, and you feel everything that's going on and the injustice that's happening, and it doesn't make you feel like an outsider looking in. It makes you feel like a part of it. My only real criticism of the film is that it doesn't reach the emotional levels that it's trying to go for, and I really wish it did, because it could have been a really moving picture. Number 3 is The Substance. This is probably one of the most original films I've seen in a very long time. The performances in this movie, the production design, the way it keeps up the energy that it starts with, the music that it used, like Pump It Up, come on, it's now stuck in my head on repeat. Dennis Quaid and Margot Qualley give some great performances, and then of course there's Demi Moore. The makeup and everything is so great about this film. I do think that the third act is a bit abrupt, but I think it's necessary to get to where you want, especially with that final shot, and it kind of needed to go balls to the wall. Number 2 is Anora. The more I think about this movie, the more I appreciate it and like this movie. There's such an interesting commentary about the rags to riches story and how you can have everything handed to you, but for the rich, it's just a game. But for someone that's struggling and trying to really achieve their life goals, it can seem like a dream come true. But overall, my main criticism with the movie and why I don't admire it as much as I want to is because of the first 40 minutes or so. I feel like it's just a little redundant, and it could have been done in such a shorter amount of time. at least half of that. I just feel like it's just doing like excessive scenes. But when the movie starts going and the wild antics and the chase starts beginning, it's so much fun. It's hilarious, and then it turns into this really heartbreaking drama, and it just gives you everything that you want in a movie. Mikey Madison is a superstar in this movie, and then I love that Euro Borsov is getting so much acclaim. And this movie still has one of my favorite endings to any film that came out last year, and it's just heartbreaking and just great cinema. But the number one movie is I'm Still Here. This movie is phenomenal. It's a real life story. It's a movie that resonates with people in the circumstances that we're kind of going through right now. Fernanda Torres gives a tour de force performance. I do really hope that she kind of comes out as the best actress winner, and that this movie wins Best Picture, because it is just such a phenomenal film. It's emotionally resonant. I love like how much time you get to spend with the family in the beginning and really form this bond. And so when the tragedy does strike, it hits you a little bit harder because you feel like you're being ripped away from your family and your home. The front that a mother has to keep just to keep her family together while their patriarch ends up missing. And it's just such a heart-wrenching and well-told and well-realized film that never makes you lose hope. I didn't think I was going to love it as much, but if I had watched this before I did my top 10, this movie probably would have ended up in my top 10. Those are my rankings for the Best Picture nominees. What are your rankings? Sound off in the comments below, guys.